Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Current Affairs of Economics. We are continuing with our discussion on second part, which is energy sector. Those who have not yet gone through the first part, please go through it. That basically contains basics which have appeared in economics, current affairs from last January. So, under energy sector, we are basically going to see the following topics: general network access, city gas distribution network, revamped distribution sector scheme, energy poverty, and revamped distribution sector scheme for discoms, then Shakti. So, general network access, open and non-discriminatory access to the interstate transmission system, which is the concept of one nation, one grid, basically allowing connectivity between states in what? Power grids. Clear, people? It does away with unnecessary contracts between power producers and the bulk consumers for delivery of power. Any producer will now have the right to access to any consumer as far as the quantum contracted is met. Central Electricity Authority initiated the idea for general network access, basically by for the proper planning of transmission system. One must understand here in India, transmission loss is anywhere between 20% to 30%, whereas in USA and in China, it is less than 10%. Assured recovery of transmission charges from the applicant. Entities eligible for connecting to the ISTS, that is the interstate transmission system, are eligible entities include types of generating stations, captive generating plants, standalone energy storage system, and renewable power park developer. Dedicated transmission lines. If the connectivity is granted to a generating station or a captive generating project or a standalone ESS, energy storage system, the dedicated transmission line should be established, operated, and maintained by such entities. Coming to the next topic, city gas distribution network. City gas distribution network refers to transportation or distribution of natural gas to enable the supply of cleaner cooking fuel. Natural gas to enable the supply of cleaner cooking fuel, which is like piped natural gas or PNG, to households, industrial and commercial units, as well as transportation fuel like compressed natural gas or CNG to vehicles through a network of pipelines. Under PNGRB Act 2006, PNGRB grants the authorization to the entities for developing a a city gas development network, including PNG network. What is PNG? Piped natural gas in a specified GA of the country, geographical area. CGD sector has four distinct segments: CNG, predominantly used as auto fuel, and PNG, used in domestic, commercial, and industrial segment. The oil regulator, PNGRB, divided bids for CGD in 5 geographical areas covering 27 districts across UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, and West Bengal. Upon finalization of bids under these rounds, 88% of the country's area would be authorized for development of city gas distribution network to provide access to natural gas to approximately 98% of the country's population. Please note down these numbers, people. The Reserve Bank of India has accorded the status of infrastructure to city gas distribution network, very, very important, RBI, which enables financing from commercial banks and other finance institutions. The tariff to be charged for transportation of priority fuel, that is compressed natural gas and piped natural gas, which was previously the sole basis for awarding a license, now has a mere 10% weightage, with primacy given to infrastructure creation in 3 major segments of steel pipeline length, CNG stations, and domestic connections in order to achieve maximum network penetration in the market. Market exclusivity for a period of 8 years, extendable up to 10 years for performers, as compared to the previous rounds, which granted exclusivity of merely for a period of 5 years. Right to first use provides a greater incentive for the bidders to enjoy monopoly and to make good of their investments. Revamped distribution sector scheme. What is this scheme about? It aims to bring down India's average aggregate technical and commercial loss from the present level of 20% to 12 to 15% and gradually narrow the deficit between the cost of electricity and the price at which it is supplied to zero by 2024-25. Year is important. National Smart Metering Program (NSMP) aims to replace 250 million conventional meters with smart ones that will reduce power theft and ensure reliable electricity supply. National Smart Grid Mission plans and monitors the implementation of policies and programs related to smart grid activities in India. Next topic is energy poverty. Energy poverty, also referred as fuel poverty, is usually defined in two ways as energy accessibility, that is, excuse me, lack of access to electricity, and energy affordability, that is, household dependence on inefficient and polluting energy sources such as burning of solid biomass. Revamped distribution sector scheme for DISCOMs. It aims to improve the operational efficiencies and financial sustainability of all DISCOMs or power departments, excluding private sector DISCOMs. It provides result-linked financial assistance to DISCOMs for strengthening of supply infrastructure based on meeting pre-qualifying criteria and achieving basic minimum benchmarks. Its objectives include reduction of aggregate technical and commercial losses to pan-India levels of 12 to 15% by 2024-25, reduction of average cost of supply to average revenue realized gap to zero by 2024-25. So this is important. Reducing the average cost of supply to average revenue realized gap to zero. Clear, people? Then, developing institutional capabilities for modern DISCOMs, improvement in the quality, reliability, and affordability of power supply to consumers through a financially sustainable and operationally efficient distribution sector. General points these are: existing schemes will be subsumed, including Integrated Power Development Scheme, Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana, along with Prime Minister's Development Program 2015 for UT, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Rural Electrification Corporation and Power Finance Corporation have been nominated as the nodal agencies. This is important. Clear, people? Moving on. Other features of the scheme: result-linked financial assistance for strengthening of supply infrastructure, state-specific action plan rather than one-size-fits-all approach, solarization of agricultural feeders to improve electricity supply to farmers, and converges with the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Urja Suraksha Evam Uttam Mahabhiyan scheme or KUSUM scheme. Prepaid smart metering to be implemented in public-private partnership mode. System metering at feeder and distribution transformer level in PPP mode, leveraging artificial intelligence and consumer empowerment by way of prepaid smart metering. Provision for special category states in terms of extra grant for smart metering projects. Consumer meters and system meters. Prepaid smart meters for all consumers except agricultural consumers, because as you know, electricity is free. Special prioritization to urban areas, that is approximately 10 crore prepaid smart meter installation by 2023. The balance to be taken up in phases. Feeder segregation. Scheme focuses on funding for feeder segregation for unsegregated feeders, which would enable solarization under KUSUM. Solarization will lead to cheap or free daytime power for irrigation and additional income for the farmers. That is basically solar pumps will be used. And whatever additional electricity is generated, farmers will be able to sell them. Modernization of distribution system in urban areas. Supervisory control and data acquisition in all urban areas. Rural and urban area system strengthening. Then, there are three primary segments in the electricity sector: generation, transmission, distribution. Generation is the process of producing power using different fuels and is carried out in generating stations like thermal power plant, nuclear power plant, etc. Transmission utilities carry bulk power from the generation plant to the distribution substation through a grid and at high voltages. That is basically what from the power plant now you need to bring it down. You need to step down the voltage and you need to bring it down to the substation. Distribution utilities supply electricity from the substation to the individual consumers through a distribution network. The third stage, which involves the distribution of power to all the consumers across the country, is where the DISCOMs come into the picture. So from the substation, now you deliver it to whom? You deliver it to the individual consumer, and that is where you get what? DISCOMs. DISCOMs in union territories are administered directly by the central government, while the respective state governments govern those in the states. Private DISCOMs are also operational in India but are limited to a few cities. Under the Indian Constitution, power is a concurrent subject, and the responsibility for distribution and supply of power to rural and urban consumers rests with the states. One of the key issues with the power sector currently is the poor financial situation of state DISCOMs. Revamped distribution sector scheme for DISCOMs. This has been affecting their ability to buy power for supply and the ability to invest in improving the distribution infrastructure. Consequently, this impacts the quality of electricity that consumers receive. present status of discoms is state-owned discoms across the country are financially and operationally beleaguered despite four reform schemes in the past 15 years. That means what? State-owned discoms are facing huge loss. According to Niti Aayog's report of August 2021, most power discoms incur losses every year. The total loss was estimated to be 90,000 crore in the financial year 2021. Coming to Shakti. Ministry of Power launched scheme for procurement of aggregate power of 4,500 megawatt for 5 years under the Shakti scheme, which is scheme for harnessing and allocating koila transparently in India. That is allocation of coal. Shakti scheme was launched to provide coal to stressed power units which lack coal supply. The scheme will help the states that are facing power shortage and also help generation plants to increase their capacities. PFC Consulting Limited will be the nodal agency for the Shakti scheme. Next in line is telecom sector, which we will be taking up tomorrow. Hope this current affairs session was informative for you. Happy studying. God bless. Take care.